everybody! So we finally got the new Crystal Beast, well, 4 years old Crystal Beast support from freaking Secrets of Eternity in Japan. And almost all of it's not playable anymore. Yeah, that's fun. Thank you, Konami. But I still wanted to give you guys an updated Crystal Beast deck profile, one that I've been messing around with ever since it was announced, and especially since I got some stuff that is basically higher rarity and I want to show off because I love this deck. And Crystal Beasts are one of few decks that I really want to max rarity out one of these days, and I'm getting kind of closer, kind of. I digress. I really wanted to show off what the new stuff can do with this new build. No, we are still playing the Rainbow Dragon build. I think I've admitted it before, but I'm a bit of a Rainbow Dragon fanboy. Not like super, like, I wouldn't say fanboy, but I love Rainbow Dragon. He's one of my favorite boss monsters. So I'm going to play him whenever I can, especially now that I got some cool stuff I want to show off. So let's get on to the deck profile before I just go off on a rambling tangent. First and foremost, we got triple Rainbow Dragon. And yeah, I got Ghost Rares. Heck yeah! I might get a playset soon, and by playset I mean I'll get one more to replace my Tactical Evolution Secret Rare first hit with another Ghost Rare, but my friend lost his third one, so he's got to find it, and then I'm going to get that off of him along with that. So playset of Ghost Rares, heck yeah. So Rainbow Dragon is a pretty cool boss monster. He's not like anything particularly amazing, but I don't think he's as bad as people say he is. Once you get all 7 Crystal Beasts on the field or in the graveyard, which isn't the hardest thing to do anymore, he's pretty cool, and there's a bunch of different ways to search him out. He's a 4K beater, so just summoning 2 of them means pretty much game if your opponent doesn't have stuff to get, well, in his way, and all that, which is pretty cool. I like him a lot. I love him. And oh my god, these are so pretty. If only they were in better condition. So moving on, we got Triple Pegasus. He's by far the best Crystal Beast monster. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. I know some people will argue, no, that's Carbuncle, but I digress. Still really cool. He's basically Stratos. Whenever he's summoned, you get to put a Crystal Beast in your back row. And then like all Crystal Beasts, if he dies, he goes into your back row. Really cool. Moving on, I dropped Topaz down to 2. I used to be playing 3 of them, but I found that that's kind of stupid. So I put him down to 2, especially now that we got Crystal Conclave, which I'm going to be honest is the only card of the new stuff that I would play, and that I am playing because it's such a great trap card. So this card, Topaz, he just kind of isn't that relevant anymore. He used to be what everybody considered to be the last 3 of the Crystal Beasts to actually be good, but even his attack buff effect is, well, getting progressively worse as time goes on. Yeah, excuse me. So he's just not as good anymore as he was in 2005. I think that was around the time when it came out. I have no idea. And then we got 2 Ember Mammoth. He's the second strongest, and that's pretty much the only reason he's played it too. You can play 1 if you really want to try and cram in more traps, but I like to be on the safe side and play 2. Then we got 2 Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. He basically can put a Crystal Beast on top of your deck. That's not too relevant though. It's nice to put Pegasus on top of your deck though, and then just go off from there, but it's not the greatest thing in the world either. Moving on to Carbuncle. I know some people want to play 3 and stuff. I still prefer 2 just because it can be a bit of a dead draw. I can understand 3 though, so if you want to play 3, maybe drop a Mammoth for 1 more of her. Kind of, you know, just up to you. Good old Amethyst Cat and all her uselessness. And then 1 Topaz Tiger. Emerald Tortoise, that is not a tiger, you dingus. Tortoise is, of course, also like the second worst, if not the worst. I kind of argue that Cat has more usability just because she can attack directly. But yeah, I almost called Emerald Tortoise a tiger again. The tortoise is terrible. Moving on, we got the spell cards. First and foremost, we got the cutest artwork in the world that you can barely see because of the lens glare. Good old Crystal Bond. This card is amazing. Search out a Crystal Beast, put another Crystal Beast in your back row. Sure, it's a hard once per turn, but it's amazing. Who cares? Got a Rainbow Bridge. Search out any crystal spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. What can I say? This card is amazing. It's not once per turn either. Then we got Rainbow Ruins. Rainbow Ruins is honestly one of the best field spells like ever made for an archetype and how it works. Just being able to get all these really awesome and good effects, being able to half battle damage, negate spells and traps, draw a card, special summon, do all this cool stuff. It's really, really, really good. And because of how good it is, we got triple terraforming, kind of goes without saying, because there's no inherent archetypal way of searching out Rainbow Ruins. But hey, terraforming, you better play it at 3 while we can, guys. Then we got 2 Crystal Beacon. Beacon is by far one of the best of the spell cards for the archetype, well, at least of the old ones. If you have 2 or more Crystal Beasts in your back row, special summon a Crystal Beast from your deck. Do I have to explain why that's good? It's just, you spell summon a dude from your deck for free, basically. It's really, really, really good. If you summon out Sapphire Pegasus, you're getting a plus off of that. Really powerful card overall. 2 Crystal Blessing, just put dudes from your graveyard into your back row. Just really helpful for recursion and for getting more stuff for your field spell to be able to trigger. 2 Rare Value. This card is kind of like a pot of greed for the deck. It's really weird in how it works, and I really wish I had Crystal in the name so you could search it off of Rainbow Bridge, because that'd be amazing. But I digress. So you can only activate it if you control 2 or more Crystal Beasts in your back row. You activate it, your opponent picks one of those Crystal Beasts, sends it to the graveyard, draw 2 cards. Goes without saying how good this is. 2 Melody of Awakening Dragon. So this card, you pitch this card, search out up to 2 dragons with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. Rainbow Dragon happens to have 4,000 attack and 0 defense, so he fits under that. So if you want to get to your Rainbow Dragons, dig through your deck. There you go. Really easy, then you don't have to worry about drawing into them as much, because that's no fun. 1 Crystal Abundance. I used to play 2, but you just don't get to use this card as much. It's a really powerful card if it triggers, where basically you can only activate it if you have 4 Crystal Beasts in your back row. You send all of them to the graveyard. That's the cost too, and your opponent can solemn warning this thing. So you send 4 cards from your deck, from your back row to the graveyard. You send everything on the field to the graveyard, and then you summon out Crystal Beasts from your graveyard up to the number of cards that you sent on your opponent's side of the field to the graveyard. Really, really powerful card overall. It can win you the game. It used to be the main win condition of the deck. Still kind of is, but yeah. Then 1 Crystal Promise, because it's basically kind of like a Monster Reborn for the deck, but it only brings them back from the back row, so yeah. And then onto the traps, because this deck actually plays a good number of traps. First and foremost, triple Torrential Tribute. So Crystal Beasts don't care how they die, so long as they die to go into your back row. And Torrential Tribute is by far one of the best disruption cards in the game. You let your opponent just go off, and then bam, hit them with a Torrential Tribute. They neg like 5, and you get a dude in your back row, so you can go off from there. Really powerful trap card. Goes without saying how good it is. I mean, Darkhold during your opponent's turn. What more is there to say? Then we got 2 Ultimate Crystal Magic. I love this card's name and the artwork and everything about it. So whenever a Crystal Beast you control is destroyed by battle, send 7 Crystal Beasts with different names from your hand, field, a deck, or graveyard. And then special summon 1 Ultimate Gem God monster, or I think it's just Ultimate Crystal. I can't remember how they localize it. 1 Ultimate Crystal Fusion monster from your extract. This card is treated as a fusion summon. And then if it's in your graveyard, and an Ultimate Crystal monster leaves the field, you get to banish it from your graveyard, put as many Crystal Beasts in your back row as you want. Pretty cool card overall. Summons out a big fusion for free, and then also if it's in your graveyard, you get to just banish it if one of your Rainbow Dragons dies, and then put as many dudes in your back row as you want. I love this card overall. And then finally we got 2 Crystal Conclave. I was testing out 3, but I found it to be a bit cloggy at 3, especially now that we have a search card for it. Really good card overall. It's kind of like that Yang Zing trap that does basically the same thing, where if a Crystal Beast dies by battle or card effect, you can spell summon a Crystal Beast from your deck. Pretty good overall. I think it has to be different names if I remember correctly. Nope, just any Crystal Beast. So your Pegasus dies, summon out another Pegasus, get another plus. Really, really good card. And then on top of that, because they know that Crystal Beasts don't want back row too much, it has a built-in effect to get it out of your back row, where during your first turn, except during the same chain link as the first effect, you can send it from the field to the graveyard to target a Crystal Beast card you control and a card your opponent controls, bounce them both back to the hand. So in that same situation, let's say your Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus dies, you spell summon another Pegasus, you put a dude in your back row, your opponent goes to try and swing over this Pegasus, you use this card's effect, send it to graveyard, bounce the Pegasus that's in your back row, and bounce something your opponent controls, and then you just go off from there. I love it. It's such a good card overall, and I would play 3 if it wasn't so bricky anymore, because it is a trap. You do have to wait a turn, and traps just aren't as good anymore. Also, it's a hard once per turn for both effects, so it's not as great as it was back in 2014 or 2013 whenever Japan got it. Yeah, I'm still mad about that. Moving on, we got 2 of the Rainbow Over Dragon. Beautiful card art, and it's literally basically just an upgraded version of Rainbow Dragon. Has the exact same effects, but a bit better. Same stat line and everything. Goes without saying. And then we got 1 Phantom Knight's Break Sword. Pretty cool. Just pop on both sides of the field. If you pop one of your Crystal Beasts, they go in the back row. 1 Abyss Dart, stop your opponent's stuff. 1 Castel to Sky Blaster Musketeer for general spot removal. 1 Utopia to Lightning. And then I kind of inadvertently made this a Tremere deck without realizing it. 1 Nightmare Mermaid, 1 Nightmare Goblin, Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and Griffin. This deck can churn out stuff pretty easily, and it doesn't mind discarding because, you know, you get to get your stuff, and you can always send your Ultimate Crystal Magic or some other stuff in your graveyard for this. And then, of course, also 1 Surja. Surja is amazing in this deck, just saying, because you can just really... a friend of mine calls it the hand unbricker, and that's basically what he does, is just unbrick your hands, so it kind of goes without saying on that. And then 1 Borreload Dragon, because Borreload's a boss. So, yeah, guys, that's the deck profile. What do you guys think of Crystal Beasts? I absolutely love this deck. I'm hoping to God that one of these days Konami just remakes the original Crystal Beasts, or at least the 4 that aren't good anymore, so that then we can have 7 good Crystal Beasts. I don't know, I just really want that. It'd be nice one of these days, but I digress. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.